All right, third grade, we're ready for our next lesson in this new chapter, which is capitalizing proper nouns. So this should also be a review because we know that nouns that are specific person, places, or things should be capitalized. So let's go right into it. There are many kinds of proper nouns. Always begin a proper noun with a capital letter. Begin the name of a particular person with a capital letter. So we know that if your name is Janet Jones, your name is going to be capitalized, the J in Janet and the J in Jones. Here we have Brandon. Oh, I didn't even see that. Brandon Jones, and his first name is capitalized, his last name is capitalized. But over here, this is something a little different that we haven't learned yet. Uncle Henry. You capitalize the U in uncle because you're talking about a specific uncle, like it's part of his name. Okay? So you would capitalize the U in uncle and of course the H in Henry because that's his name. Okay? So if you're calling somebody Grandma Wilson, you capitalize the G in grandma and the W in Wilson as well, okay? If it's like part of their name, like a title, then you capitalize it. Over here you have the name Rosa L. Martinez. Not only is her first and last name capitalized, but the first initial of her middle name is also capitalized. So the first letter of any part of your name will be capitalized, okay? A family name begins with a capital letter only when it is used in place of a person's name. So that kind of has to do with this right here. Uncle Henry is what you call your uncle, right? So they would be capitalized. But over here, let's look about the difference in capitalizing it without the name being there. Wrong. Today is my grandmother's birthday. You would not capitalize the G in grandmother because you're not being specific. It's not replacing your grandmother's name. If your grandmother's name was Lucy, it wouldn't make sense today to say today is my Lucy's birthday. Okay? That's not replacing her name. That's just saying what she is of yours, your grandmother. Then you're being specific, my grandmother. But you do not capitalize the G in grandmother in that sentence. You would only capitalize it if you replaced it with her name. So if you took away grandmother and put Lucy or whatever her name is, and it doesn't make sense, then it cannot be capitalized. Over here, I gave grandmother a present. If we took out grandmother and put her name here, so I gave Lucy a present, that makes sense. So it will be capitalized because if we take out grandmother and put her name, it makes sense. It can be replaced with her name. So the word grandmother, the title that she is of yours, replaces her name. Okay? So to you, she's not Lucy. To you, she's grandmother. So that's what you call her. Okay? If that's a little confusing, that's okay. We'll go through more examples. Next one. Begin the name of a pet with a capital letter. So your pets, they are not a person per se, but they do have a name, right? Your dog, if you say my dog is white and black, you wouldn't be capitalized. The D in dog wouldn't be capitalized because it's the same thing here. You're saying my dog. But if you said Trixie is black and white, Trixie is the name of your dog. You're talking about a specific quote unquote person. Not really a person, but you know what I mean. So it would be capitalized because that is their name. So let's see here. Pokey, that's the dog's or the pet's name, so it'd be capitalized. Buster is the pet's name, it'd be capitalized. And Freckles is the pet's name, so it'd be capitalized. Next one. Begin the names of days, months, and holidays with a capital letter. So days of the week, capitalized, always. Months of the year, always capitalized. Holidays are also capitalized, but not just the first part. Okay, the name of the holiday is Columbus Day, so all of it needs to be capitalized. Columbus, the C in Columbus, and the D in day. Not just Columbus and forget about day, okay? Holidays, the entire name needs to be capitalized. So we have a holiday coming up called Memorial Day. We would capitalize the M in memorial and the D in day, okay? Very important to remember that. So let's go ahead through some examples and try it out. Speak up. Which nouns should begin with a capital letter? So let's go through them. Last Monday we had company. what word should be capitalized here? Well, I see a day of the week, and days of the week are always capitalized, so the M in Monday. Number 2, we had a visit from Grandpa. What should be capitalized here? Well, we're calling a family member of ours, replacing it with his name, so Grandpa will be capitalized. Because if we took out Grandpa and put his name was Louis, we had a visit from Louis, it makes sense, right? So Grandpa must be capitalized. Number 3, he arrived with Aunt Helen. So what should we capitalize here? Well, I see a name, Helen, so that must be capitalized. Is that it? No. You see here before, it's saying her title, what she is to you. She's your aunt. If it just said she arrived with my aunt, it would not be capitalized. But we're saying exactly who? Aunt Helen. That's part of her name to you, being her niece or nephew. So it would be capitalized as well. Number 4, she brought her dog Muggs. So we see a comma here implying that we're going to say the name of her dog. She brought her dog, and who's her dog? Muggs. So what should be capitalized? The D in dog? No, because that's not being specific. Are we being specific in this sentence? Yes. So what should be capitalized? The M in Muggs, because it's telling you the name of her dog. And finally, number 5, our family had a Labor Day cookout. So what should be capitalized? Well, I see the name of a holiday. It's being very specific, so we're going to capitalize the holiday. L in Labor Day. Are we finished? No, the name of the holiday is Labor Day. So even though day is like, a small word, doesn't seem important, like it shouldn't be capitalized, it's part of the holiday's name. Without day, it would just be labor. Our family had a labor cookout. That doesn't make sense. The name of the holiday is Labor Day. So day also must be capitalized. Okay? So I hope that made more sense. Let's go ahead and check out what your assignment is going to be for today. All right, so your assignment is going to be to read each sentence and to highlight the words that must be capitalized, okay? Or if you want to just highlight the letter that needs to be capitalized, that's fine as well. So let's go through the example. I showed Mom my guest list. What word should be capitalized here? Well, M in Mom should be capitalized because that is what you call your mom. That is her name to you. So if that's her name, it has to be capitalized, okay? So that's it. I showed my Mom my guest list. And that's what you're going to do for 6 through 12. Read the sentences and highlight what needs to be capitalized. Next section is 13 through 20. Here you are going to read this little journal entry and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to highlight the words that need to be capitalized. Here there are 8 words that must be capitalized or are incorrectly capitalized, okay? So highlight the ones that must be capitalized, highlight the ones that should not be capitalized and are capitalized. There are 8 altogether. Okay, let's look at the example. My sister Emma helped my uncle with the cooking. Now, what should be capitalized or what is incorrectly capitalized here? Well, sister, should that be capitalized? No, because it's saying my sister. So that's not saying her name, but it does say her name right next to it. So sister would not be capitalized. If Emma wasn't there, sister still wouldn't be capitalized, okay? Because you're saying my sister. You're not saying her name. You're not saying sister replaced her name, okay? If you said sister helped my uncle, maybe you call her sister, then it'd be capitalized. But that's not the case. Her name is Emma, so we would capitalize the E in Emma. Helped my uncle with the cooking. Should uncle be capitalized or is it correct? Well, it should not be capitalized actually, you see here, because you're saying my uncle. You're not saying his name or using uncle to replace his name. You wouldn't say my Larry. That doesn't make sense. So my uncle should not be capitalized. Only if the my wasn't there. My sister Emma helped uncle with the cooking. Then it would be capitalized. But that's not the case. We have the word my, so no capitalized, okay? So that's basically a tip for you. If the word my is in front of the title, it will not be capitalized, okay? So go ahead and read this and highlight what should be capitalized, highlight what should not be capitalized that is capitalized. All right? Go ahead on OneNote and go work on this. Good job, guys.